Faf, you spoke in the week about the mental state and taking this one on the chin, win or lose. Now you have to obviously implement that, just the mindset at the moment and how you go through until Tuesday.
Yeah, this is now when it's important for us to make sure that you look at the World Cup for it is. You know, you're going to play games, you're going to come up against quality opposition. Today, England was better than us, all three facets of the game. They show why they are such a good cricket team. And now we have to look at it's a league competition. You know, as disappointed as we are with our performances today, you have to make sure you learn from it quickly and put every single doubt to bed, because there is a next game that you've got to make sure you play good cricket again.
Faf, were you disappointed at the way that the batsman got out? Here I am.
Oh.
Were you disappointed in the way the batsman got out? And what do you think made that happen, and how can you guys fix the batting?
Yeah, I think the flow of the innings unfortunately started with Hashim coming off the field. When you're chasing a big score like 310, what you need is a good start. You need to make sure that you settle the batting dressing room with a good partnership, whether it's 0 wickets down or 1 down, but a good start is really important. And obviously with him coming off, and then a few overs later, Aiden got out, and then 1 or 2 overs later, I got out. When you go 3 down on a big score like that, you're making it really tough for our batting unit to perform. And then the score just looks big. It looks too far. It looks too difficult to get there. The pitch was good enough for us to have a good start. Obviously, Archer bowled really well with the new ball. As I said before this game, a lot of the guys hasn't played against him. So it will take time for international batters to get used to his action. As I said, a little bit nippier when he hits the crease. And that's why he is such an X-factor bowler. So he broke through our opening 3 there. And that pretty much was always going to be a tough ask from there. Quinny batted really well. Rassi once again showed good composure. So yeah, look, it's just for me now, it's about making sure the dressing room look at the areas that we got it wrong, and just move on. That's it.
Faf,
can you describe the thought process behind opening the bowling with Imran Tahir, and how much of it was a surprise element that he got the wicket of Bairstow in the first over?
Not a surprise. It was a plan. It was something that we thought about a year ago already. I said when we played against England, there's a feeling that, I want to go with Emi because it is something different. I suppose it got a little bit tested when you win the toss and you're bowling first, and it is normally the oval where you want to bowl 2 seamers. But still with that, just sticking to what I feel is the best opportunity to get a wicket. And that's to everyone. So to those 2 at the top, my gut was just saying that Imran has a big chance of getting a wicket. And to the build-up to this game, practicing with a new ball for the last 2 weeks, it's something that he's not really done before, but he knew that he was going to take that first over today.
Off Archer's wickets, and even the Hash hit on the head, which was effectively a wicket in itself. Is that what express pace does? Does it sort of hurry the thoughts and make you do things that you don't necessarily want to do?
Not necessarily. I think it's just, as I said, his action. He is, you could see now towards the end, even with Rassi, bowls, slow ball, 80% ball, 80% ball, and then a quick bouncer, So there's obviously some thinking behind it. He does, when he bowls that short one, it is a bit quicker than his other balls, and the guys will get to understand that action better. So when we get an opportunity to play against England again, we'll know that his short ball is his wicket ball. He's not necessarily a guy that will swing the ball as much as other bowlers, but his short ball will be his wicket-taking ball.
Faf, the first half of the game really seemed like a whole lot of planning coming together, not just in one, but also playing Dwayne and Andile and lots of slower balls and that sort of thing. How frustrating is it then that the first half of the game really seemed to go all according to plan and then sort of fell apart afterwards?
Yeah, I thought after the first half that we did a good job with the ball. As I said before this game, England, more so than any other team in this World Cup, bat longer than anyone else. So if you can stop them with with a long batting lineup that they have, then you're doing a great job with the ball. For them to score as little runs as they did the last 15 overs, and us picking as many wickets as we did, was a great achievement by our bowling unit. But as I said, you have to. 310 is still a big score. So what you need to do is you need to start well, and we didn't have that luxury today.
Faf, how do you appraise Ben Stokes' performance today? Because when you come up against a guy like that, top scores, run-outs, wickets, and that catch as well, I mean, how can you compete with that in a way?
Yeah, he's a good cricketer, Stokes. A 3-in-1 cricketer. And that's why I said why England is such a good team. They have a lot of all-rounders that play a part. Moeen, Ali, same thing. On other days, he does it with the batter's ball and does it in the field. Chris Wokes, good bowler. He comes in at the end. He can score your runs. It goes on. Rashid, Plunkett. So that's England team's strength, is the fact that they go so long, and that's why they're playing probably the most consistent one-day cricket. Catch, brilliant. That's as good as it gets. I also enjoy those round-hand, one-hand catches. I appreciate the skill that goes into that. But I know with him, been playing with him in previous teams before, that he practices his fielding hard. He's a guy that does those. He does train those catches, so there's no fluke when it comes to taking a catch like that with him.
Faf, you say 310 or 311 is a big score. Was there anything more you could have done to restrict England when you had them like 5 down, something?
I'll go back now and I'll think what can I do better, what can I learn from the pitch, but as I said, their batting lineup is long, so Stokes coming in at 5 or 6, whatever, to get 90 runs the way that he did. I didn't feel that we made a lot of mistakes with the ball. I thought it was a good battle between good bowlers and a very, very strong batting lineup. And it was, probably 10, 15 runs more if you were really harsh on ourselves, a few soft deliveries. But apart from that, 300 on a good wicket like that, I would have taken that.
Can I get the last few? Daniel, the back end.
Me. Faf, when you won the toss, did you have an idea in your mind of what target you would have liked to have been chasing? How close to 312 was that?
I was hoping 180, but that is probably the glass half full side of me. When they got going and they batted really well, it looked like they were going close to 350. And obviously the scores, especially from them the last while, has been 350, has been almost their par. So, in my head I was aiming at anything between 320 and 300 would have been a great effort from us. So to do that, I think the bowlers did a good job today.
Faf, you took 2 very good catches filling in the outfield. How difficult is to lead the team in today's era, most of the time when you're in the outfield? I mean, in India, Kohli gets support from Dhoni. How do you manage?
Yeah, I'm normally, most of the time, the last year or so, I've been in the inner ring. I love talking to the bowlers because I had a dodgy shoulder. That's better now, so the competitive fielder inside me wants to go where the ball goes, because I feel like your best fielders needs to be where the ball goes. Luckily for us today, we bowled quite a bit of spin, so we had enough time for me to go to the boundary and then still go up to the bowler and talk about plans and tactics. But we haven't got a lot of quick fielders around the park, so that's why I feel it's necessary for me to go. With Markram, who's also a good fielder. We've got David Miller, who's a good fielder. He didn't play, but there's a few slow-ish guys in the field, so that makes the quicker guys in the team job more important.
Faf, how impressed were you with Lungi Ngidi's character? His first World Cup game wasn't going too well for him, but then I think it was 3 for 21 and 4 overs at the death.
Yeah. Lungs would have said. He's got a beautiful action. Today, just off it with the start. He's normally a guy that is very, very balanced in the way that he bowls. He doesn't offer a lot of bad balls. Today there was a few up front, but that's okay. That's going to happen. And then the way he came back was beautiful. to get Josh Butler out, he's probably one of the best strikers in the world. To get him out with good thinking, good tactics, and coming back, like you're saying, 3 for 21 is very good for us, because Lungi, KG, those guys are going to play a role when it comes to close games at the death as the tournament moves on.
On the scorecard, that's a really sizable victory. Did it feel like it was going to be one of those days at halfway or something like that?
No, it didn't. Definitely didn't. I think that given the nature of the pitch and the way South Africa bowled, I think we were fighting our plan A game with the bat for quite some time, and that probably emphasised how slow the pitch was. It never allowed you to get away and I suppose strike the ball like we would do for our plan A. So I think one of the areas of our game that we've improved the last 2 years is the way that we've assessed conditions and played a bit more smart cricket and building partnerships and putting a total on the board and believing that that's enough. And certainly at the halfway stage, we didn't believe that we had enough, but we believed that we had in and around a par or maybe above a par score.
Can you sum up, as a captain, your reaction to what Ben produced today? He dug in with the bat, he got a couple of wickets, and then in the middle there was best catch we've seen.
Yeah, he's had a full day out, and when he does, it's extremely entertaining, and it's great for the game, because we see a lot of them in training do stuff like that all the time, and you just shake your head at it because it doesn't happen every day. And today his all-round game was on, and that's great for us at the start of a tournament. It shows that he's right on top of his game.
Thrilled by the start that Jofra gave today, the pace that he generated. Does that give you an edge going forward into the tournament?
I think it gives us another string to our bow. We certainly have two out-and-out quicks within our squad, in him and Mark Wood. But for him to bowl as quick and accurately today on a slow wicket, I think shows that he's in good form. Will? Thank you.
Is it a relief to be into the tournament and have got that win?
It's a relief to be into the tournament. I've said, we are going to lose games throughout the tournament. If it happened to be the first one, it didn't really matter. It is a relief to be off and running. It's great to get a win, and it's even better to produce a performance like that.
Gentleman here on the end.
Is England trying to approach one-day cricket in a completely different way? I mean, does it remind you of your KKR days when you're playing a 20-over match? Are they trying to resemble this?
We've been trying to do that for 4 years. We've been trying to play like this for 4 years. So we're just trying to do things differently that suit us and suit the players that we have.
Owen, the Proteas got a great start, but just kind of were inconsistent and just couldn't continue when they had good patches. What do you make of them, and can you see them really challenging in this tournament?
I do see them challenging. I think with regard to their start, I suppose they started well with the ball and the bat. I thought that with the bat, the first 10 overs is probably the best time to bat, given that the wicket continued to slow up, scoring became harder, boundaries became harder to find as well. So that probably contributed to it. But I thought we bowled well. It's probably one of our better bowling performances.
Owen, were there any concerns yesterday when you saw the pitch, and would you like a bit more pace in pitches as the tournament progresses?
I just want as fair a pitch as possible. I don't want any advantage at all. I'd like the best cricket wicket possible. I don't want it slanted one way or the other. We want this tournament to be as entertaining as possible. So when it comes to a pitch, I mean, we still scored 300. People seen a lot of runs scored today, and people hopefully walk away wanting to come back again to see more.
Do you believe Jofra Archer is the main surprise package of this tournament?
Sorry, who?
Jofra Archer is the main surprise package of this tournament.
Jofra Archer, surprise pick. No, Sri Lanka have about 10 new members, don't they? Don't they? Sri Lanka have picked a couple of guys I haven't played against, and I've been playing for 10 years. I think that's the surprise for me.
Third rowing on the right. Take a couple more after this.
When pundits have been trying to figure out how people can beat England, people were banking on the collapses and hoping that might stick. Are you quite pleased with losing 2 wickets in quick succession, that you're able to build and consolidate but still go at 6 and over? How pleasing is that?
Yeah, it is extremely pleasing. I'd probably back us to lose 4 early and still go at least 5 and over. We bat all the way down. We've been 8 for 5 in Adelaide. We've been 20 for 5 and still put a reasonable score on the board and fought right till the end and still believed that we could win the game. So if we lose wickets early, which we inevitably will at some stage, it'll happen. We'll have to deal with that situation.
Ali at the front and then one more.
Eoin, you say you see catches like that from Ben in training and stuff, but still, when he does produce it out in the middle like that, what was your reaction when you're seeing that ball flying? You're probably thinking 4 or 6, right?
He misjudged at the start. He ran in, stopped, and then I thought it was way over his head. And then the next sort of leap in that direction. I've only seen a catch like that from somebody like AB de Villiers before in a game at Bangalore, IPL game at Bangalore, similar. And it's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's unbelievable.
Gentlemen here for the last one.
Eoin, given all the sort of talk coming from the South African camp about, wicket-taking bowling and their fast bowling strengths and that, how surprised were you today about, firstly, Tahir bowling and then also just how much sort of slower balls they used and that sort of thing?
Probably not so much surprised about the slower balls, given that the attack that they went with and the wicket that we played on. A little bit surprised that Rabada didn't take the new ball. And Imran Tahir did, but obviously came off with a wicket, but didn't see Rabada come in straight away. That surprised us all.
I think it's a great start. I think we were a bit under pressure batting first on that wicket at 10:30 start, and just the pressure being home on the one side, it takes a lot. And I thought we played really well today actually with the bat. We adapted well, which we haven't really done previously as well. And it's great to beat South Africa, who we think is a very good side as well. So to win was great, and I think to win quite comfortably in the end was fantastic.
Ben said that there were obviously a few nerves in the dressing room. The magnitude of this home World Cup and wanting to get off to a good start, and then the early loss of Johnny didn't start the day too well, did it? So to come back from that and win with a good margin in the end must be really gratifying for the whole team. Yeah,
I thought South Africa obviously surprised us a little bit with bowling with Imi at the top, but I thought it was quite a good move for them today. Obviously worked, but we managed to obviously have a very good partnership then, and it was good the way they built. And I thought those key partnerships really won us the game today. They weren't massive, but they were big enough to get us to a good score. And I thought once we got past 290, I thought we were pretty much going to win the game, as long as Jafra bowled well.
And he did bowl well. I mean, it's just everyone's talking about him. He's got the X factor. I mean, you've seen him up close and personal the last few weeks. What is it about him that's terrifying the world's batsmen?
He's fast. He's very fast. I faced him once in the nets, and I don't want to face him again. Honestly, he's very fast. He's very accurate, and he's very skillful. So he brings a lot to the team. And for him to get into this side so quickly just shows how good he is. Because we've been doing so well over the last 4 years, and he's changed a lot. He's brought a lot to the team.
It seems like ages ago now that there was some debate about his inclusion in the team. He's just taken to it so well, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, there's big pressure on him as well, and he knows, but he loves that. He loves the pressure, and you see when he performs in the IPL and all the leagues around the world that he's used to that pressure, and he knows that everyone's watching him, and he loves it.
And what about Ben's catch? I mean, everyone's talking about that. Phil Toffel says catch of the century. Have you been? What did the players make of it?
It was obviously a very good catch, but if he just stood at the back, he'd gone straight in. That's what I keep telling him. It was an amazing catch. We see him do that in practice all the time, but he actually messed up. He came running in and then had to go back. So,
but that makes it all the better, yeah. The correction, to still
of course. But if you're in the right place, then it's easy. That's my opinion, anyway.
And you guys happy with your bowling output today as well? I mean, it wasn't everyone talks about England being this great batting team, but it was the full court game today, wasn't it, for me?
Definitely. I think our bowling with Joff in the side, I think he just he gives us that extra bit more, and Rash bowled really well, I thought, today. And so yeah, I think normally we'd like chasing and things like that, but I think with our bowling attack now, I think we don't mind even defending and stuff like that.
And final one from me, next game's Pakistan. You know them very well. We just beat them 4-0 a few weeks ago. I mean, the confidence must be coursing through your veins now with that one on the horizon.
Yeah, but they're a very dangerous side. I mean, we beat them, I think, 4-1 last time in England, and then they beat us in the semi-finals in the Champions Trophy, so we can't take them lightly. You can never write Pakistan. One thing we do know is you can never write Pakistan off in any world tournament, so they're a very dangerous side, and we know that, and we're going to have to play really well to beat them.
What do you think the impact of spin will be this World Cup?
Hopefully, if the weather stays good, I think it will be a massive impact. I think wrist spinners in particular were going to be huge, and I think they'll play a big part. I think most teams have 2 spinners, and they always seem to take wickets in the middle, and that's very important in 50 overs.
From your view on the ground, if you had to pick out 2 key moments in this match, which ones would you choose?
I actually saw Jason Roy and Ruti's partnership, and Jafra Archer's early wickets. I know, I think it's the way he got the wickets were with pace and bounce, and I think other teams will be watching thinking we don't want to face this guy as well. Yeah.
I've answered quite a few questions about it, and I think the best way to describe it is I was in the wrong position to start with. So yeah, pretty regulation catch turned into you know, it was a great feeling to be a part of in front of the crowd, but if I was in the right position I probably wouldn't have to do that.
Phil Tufnell's called it the catch of the century. I mean, maybe a bit tongue-in-cheek, but would you put it up there with some of the best you've caught and seen as well?
Yeah, I think it's up there, one of the best ones I've taken. Yeah. I was
Catch
to
of
say,
the century though, is that?
No, I think that's probably a bit too much. Yeah, good catch, great feeling at the time to do it in front of that crowd as well. It was, you know, one of those moments that I just tried to take in.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd, you could see you're kind of soaking it in when you paused there, and it was a great crowd today and a great victory for England to get this tournament and get the kind of show on their own, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's, you know, the amazing thing about having the World Cup in England this year is that we know we're going to have great support wherever we go, and the Oval is always, you know, a great atmosphere, you know, when we play series as well. So, you know, not too dissimilar to what we were expecting, to be honest, but you know, in terms of the game, it's, you know, great to get that first game out of the way, and even better to get a win, because, you know, there was a few nerves kicking around this morning. So such a big, you know, to play on such a big stage, it was pretty obvious that there was going to be a few different feelings in the changing rooms, but to walk away with the way that we played today, you know, it was a complete team performance.
I was going to say, with the early loss of Johnny there, you know, it looked like there could be some early nerves, so much pressure on starting the tournament well, and what this tournament means to English cricket. So to get a convincing win like that, you know, over the line so comfortably in the end must be really gratifying.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the wicket didn't play like it normally does here. It's normally a really, really good batting wicket, and it was quite tough going. I thought South Africa bowled really well towards the end. We weren't quite sure where we were going to get our boundaries from. You know, they took all the pace off the ball and you know, tried to make us force the issue. So I think it just shows where we've came as a batting unit, that we can adapt to different situations now. 2-3 years ago we might have only got 270, 280, and it would have been a lot easier, but you know, if you get over that 300 mark, it's, you know, there is a slight psychological advantage to having to chase over 300.
I suppose it's a mark of how far this England team have come, that some people looked at that score at lunch and thought, oh, it's actually below par for England. You know, we talk about trying to hit a 500 in an ODI. I mean, it's not going to be as simple as that in a tournament like this, is it?
No, definitely not. You know, it's probably not as easy to see watching, you know, the conditions that you're faced with as a batsman out there, and you know, it was a bit tennis ball bounce, and when they took all the pace off the ball, it was really hard to get boundaries away. So you know, we were happy at halfway getting 310, and obviously we were able to see how they bowl and use the conditions to their advantage, so we knew what we had to try and do.
And finally, for me, for yourself, you know, it's going to be hard to top today, isn't it? Personally, you know, your top scored, that catch was amazing, that little scoop shot as well. I mean, you're obviously going to hope that you're going to have better days in this tournament, but to get off to a flyer like that must be so pleasing.
Yeah, it's always good, you know, getting into the tournament and starting off pretty well, but you know, that all counts for nothing when, you know, you come to your next game. It's all about starting and rebuilding as a team and you know, seeing what conditions we've got in front of us. So you know, that's going to be the hard thing for us this World Cup, is, you know, facing what's in front of us at the time.
And a lot has been said about the batting unit. What would you say about the bowling unit and what Jofra Archer brings to the England side?
No, I think, you know, our bowling unit's been very, very solid over the last couple of years, as well as our batting. You know, there's obviously a lot that gets said about how destructive our batting lineup is. Bowlers sometimes can go under the radar and not get the plaudits that they deserve, but you know, you look at someone like Chris Wilkes, who's, you know, just been a consistent performer for us, and having someone like Jofra come into the team now with his pace and his skill level is, you know, everyone talks about the X factor, and he's definitely got it. You know, so the future's bright for him as a player, and I hope it's in an England shirt.
What would you say about the journey over the last 2 to 3 years? What do you attribute the success and the ongoing success?
You know, a lot of credit has to go to Trevor Bayliss and Owen Morgan, and in terms of the way that he's wanted our side to go forward, go out there, express yourself as individuals, and always take the positive option. But we've learned along the way. We've had some hiccups in terms of, you know, not some great team performances, but we've learned from them and became a much better team. And adapting to, you know, tricky conditions and different services has definitely been one of them, which you know, is going to be massive in this World Cup with, you know, all the different venues and different grounds we're going to be playing at.
Just one more. Have England laid down a marker, do you think, today? You know, favourites going into the tournament, but you've backed it up already, do you think?
Yeah, I think we've shown what we can do. You know, not just with the bat and ball, but, you know, also in the field as well. I think that's probably the best fielding performance we've put in as a team in probably about 3 or 4 years, to be honest. Jason Roy led that at backward point. He did some amazing stops, and you know, when you can save 20-30 runs in a game in the field, you know, that's massive. And you know, so hopefully we've, you know, set the marker there for us going forward. But you know, there's a long way left, and this is just a building platform for us.